Live from the Export Beer Garden studios and brought to you by Export Ultra, the perfect beer for a lunchtime knockoff on a Friday. This is the Agenda podcast for, as I said, Friday, the 16th of August.
The Agenda podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
And I want to remind people again that these podcasts are now on YouTube. So if you're struggling to find something to watch while you're eating your dinner or your lunch, chuck on YouTube, much to the shock and horror of the rest of your family.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Get it to double digits.
Yeah. We almost broke double digits the other day. Yeah, there were 9 people watched it, if you can believe that.
Let's pass that on to the sponsors.
Perhaps if we were better looking and weren't sitting slouched on these couches.
Potentially.
And hadn't eaten so many Rinda pineapple lollies that we were fidgeting the whole way through, then maybe one day we'll hit 10. The greatest New Zealander of all time, it rages on. I've just realised that we didn't touch on it yesterday, but it was the Mad Butcher versus Tammy from Briscoe's.
That's massively one-sided.
AKA the Briscoe's lady, and she got wasted. The Mad Butcher, I think he is beloved. I don't know that the Briscoe's lady is beloved.
No, I think she's revered.
Revered.
Revered in the retail space.
But beloved? Probably not.
She should have come up against, she's more the Magnus Benrose, John and Adrian. You know, I think that would be a ding-dong.
Yeah.
Between John and Adrian and the Briscoe's lady. I think a retail head-to-head. But Mad Butcher, he transcends the retail butcher store into, you know, an actual personality, warriors. He's knighted.
Yes.
You know, I think he's more relatable than Tammy.
And like you say, it's a broader appeal. You know, he's done so much within the community of rugby league, of butchering. I interviewed him a while ago. I didn't know how he got started as like the Mad Butcher. He was just a butcher, and he used to ring into like News Talk ZB or something and just go off his chops about. Might have even been Radio Sport. Just go off his chops about whatever it was that they were talking about, and so then they saved him in their little system as the Mad Butcher because he was just a butcher, and then all of a sudden it sort of took off from there.
Ah,
yeah,
that's good. Yeah, so the media created him.
Yeah,
the media created him.
Created a monster.
Also, we didn't touch on Baz smoked Martin Crowe too.
Oh yes,
there. So, but you're saying today, tomorrow, and Sunday.
Sunday
is a real ding-dongs coming up.
Well, today, this one breaks my heart. It's Simon Mannering versus Stacey Jones today. I feel like within the country, Simon Mannering's not far behind Stacey Jones in terms of what he did for the club, blah, blah, blah. But I just think that Stacey Jones, like you said about the Mad Butcher, he just sort of transcends a bit. He's still relevant. You know, we on the Mad Monday podcast on, funnily enough, Monday, Ben Hurley did Hurley's Heroes, and it was Simon Mannering. Yeah. And, you know, all of the stats and facts around him. 301 games for the club. There's a mural of him out there. He's now a builder around the Nelson Marlborough area, I believe. But Stacey Jones, you know, so he's sort of disappeared off into obscurity, but Stacey Jones still rolling durries in the coach's box. Coach of the Kiwis. Just beloved, isn't he?
I'm gonna go Simon Mannering for that one.
As the greatest New Zealander
in that battle.
Yeah, he's a greater New Zealander than Stacey Jones.
Yeah, in my mind. I mean, I'm just picking sides.
Yeah, right.
But tomorrow's going to be interesting. It's a Saturday, so we won't be on air.
Yeah, so we need to address it now. And this is Jonah Lomu versus Colin Meads, and actually quite topical because the documentary about Jonah's life's just been greenlit.
Yeah.
So they got halfway through, and then there was an issue around who owned the trademark for Jonah. I think that went through the courts. So now they've picked it back up again.
Well, quite controversial, really, isn't it? Because Jonah Lomu gifted his entire IP to his lawyer.
Yeah.
Not his wife.
Yeah.
But to his lawyer. And quite relatively forward-thinking from Jonah because it's not, obviously, his lawyer doesn't benefit from it. Any money made from the use of IP goes to his sons through a trust.
Right.
So he's trusted his lawyer to say, use my IP and anything you make from it goes to my sons.
Yeah.
Skipping out the wife.
Yeah, she's just like, what the fuck? That's my husband. You can't tell me that you own, you know.
But it was him. It's his last will and testament, and the law and the courts have said it's what he wanted.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's just another one of those, like, everyone's right, but unfortunately the courts are going to say it this way. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he was your husband. You should have say on whatever happens with. But unfortunately, there were pieces of paper that were signed, and
he knew something.
Long and short of that is we get to watch a Jonah doco, and I think that because I think there's going to be there'll be a generation of people who never got to see him. I only just got to see him, in the sort of waning years of his career. I wasn't, I was 4 in 95, so I don't really remember it.
I watched Jonah play schoolboy rugby as a fourth former.
Really?
Wesley College played our school in Hamilton in the top 4. He was playing number 8 against St. Paul's Collegiate. Yeah. And obviously he was enormous. And they were getting owned in the front row, Wesley, by our school, because he had a pretty formidable front row when I was a 14-year-old. Yeah. And they just put him in the front row. And he just buckled. Yeah. He absolutely buckled our front row. It was like, oh, God, this guy's an absolute freak show. And then I think he played for the All Blacks a year later. Everyone knew he was coming through the ranks. It was like you're watching schoolboy rugby, and then it was like, holy shit! What is that? It was, oh my God!
I've never seen anything like it. I love that he's that much better than everyone else. It's like, hey, where are we having problems? Oh, front row. Yeah, chuck him in front row. Number 8. Did the halfback ever see the ball out of a scrum when he was at number 8? No.
No, not when he could. It was one of those players that he did the minimum, not the maximum. So if they were down, he would take it off the back of the scrum every time. They did beat us by about 5 points, and he had to step up in the second half. And when he did, he was like, I remember seeing about 7 guys hanging off him once, just like holding on for dear life, trying to get him to ground.
Because I guess his entire life, he would have just been so much better than everyone else. It's like, oh, don't be a wanker.
I've seen him on a Swiss ball. He used to do squats on a Swiss ball with like 100 kegs on his shoulders on a Swiss ball. Yeah. That was how...
Standing on top of it?
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was next level. Because he hung out with Grant Kittyama quite a lot.
Yeah.
Down in Wellington, hence he's got his kidney.
Oh, yes.
And
you worked with them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did. So I spent a little bit of, not a heap of time with Jonah. Are
you laying claim to his IP and estate? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah. Look, I've been in touch with his lawyer, and we're going to recreate the time that I did a bodybuilding competition and Jonah trained with us.
Oh, did he?
He did.
That's right. Because he did bodybuilding.
Yeah, he did.
What was that about?
Well, he
couldn't compete anymore.
No, he wanted to get fit again, and I think him and Grant entered. I think it was a Mr. Wellington comp.
Yeah, right.
And he just wanted to trim down and get in shape, so he did a bit of bodybuilding. He was a unit, man.
Yeah,
but nicest guy on earth,
and a legend of the game.
Oh, totally.
I like, God bless Pine Tree. Too much black and white footage. I don't think he's going to win this.
I don't think he is either. I
couldn't tell you anything about the way Pine Tree played rugby.
He was a legend in his day because he was big, uncompromising. Back in the day when there's any argy-bargy on the field, you see Collins and knock the fuck out.
Yeah, right.
Knock him out and then carry on. Farmer from Tikawiti, soul to the earth. My granddad, he's from Tikawiti as well, had a farm out there, would always get confused for Colin Meads. Similar build.
Oh, he would have loved that.
Massive ears. Yeah, played a bit of code, looked like kind of Wall Foot Rot a little bit.
This is going to sound like a lie, but I once got confused for Jonah Lomu.
It kind of sounds like a lie.
I was at a bar,
What
bar
country
in
were you in?
Wales.
And they were like, I don't see many brown
There's these
dudes.
New Zealand boys out the front of the bar. It's like, is that Jonah Lomu? It's like, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, he goes.
Fuck it. Smaller in real life.
Not as big as I thought he was.
Still quick though. But yeah, so Jonah versus Pine Tree tomorrow. That is really going to piss a few people off, I think. And then on Sunday, it's the Motor Games enthusiasts are up. Bruce McLaren versus John Britton.
Yeah, McLaren's taking that out.
I think he was much shorter odds when we had Paul Moati from the TAB putting this together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are what you have to look forward to over the weekend, and hopefully something for you to, debate, discuss at the pub across the weekend. Hopefully we've sparked a few discussions. I know that the Trump photo that we posted last night have you seen that?
Yeah, it's the portrait of him in a cricketing vest.
Yeah.
Which is a very preppy kind of Stanford, Princeton vibe, like a preppy kind of
Ivy League.
Ivy League,
school.
yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Some transporter in the comments is like, no, I actually think it's a tennis outfit. It's like, all right.
Shut up, mate. Fuck.
It's actually probably a golf outfit. Who knows? It looks like he's playing cricket. Yeah. And so we posted up there, what do you think people what would he bowl?
Yeah.
I thought he'd bowl a China
Chinaman. China, man.
But the comments on this have just been tremendous. I wanted to read a couple of them to you. The first one came through and said, he would bowl tremendous stuff. No one's ever seen a spell of bowling this good.
No one.
Yep. He would bowl something so beautiful that it's really hard to define. Really, you guys are going to love it so much.
Is that Cartman or is that Trump?
I'm doing my best. I'm going to bin it. Although I'm not sure the world is ready for it. It's something his friend Vladimir and the guy they used to call the Rocket Man call a real banger. It's going to be great. It's going to be huge. So very, very huge. You guys are going to love it. Another one. He's going to bowl the ball. It'll be a great ball. Maybe one of the greatest. I don't know. You know what I mean? No one knows how to bowl like I do. I'm going to get that ball bowled. I'm going to get Mexico to pay for it and make cricket great again.
That's a good one.
Getting Mexico to pay for it is good. One of the best Halloween costumes I ever had was I was dressed up as a wall, and my friend, he was dressed up as a Mexican, and he paid for my costume. And I stood in front of him for the whole night. Everywhere we went. They're like, I don't really get your costume. I was like, he paid for it.
Oh, that's good. That's like when Matt Heath turned up to a dress-up party. It was an American theme, and he dressed up as Donald Trump.
Oh, yes.
But he overdid
the
tan.
That's right.
And he came as full Barack Obama blackface.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, bro. And he's like, I'm Trump. And he goes,
that was last year, wasn't it?
You're not giving Trump vibes.
No.
You're giving very much the like Obama vibe. And he's like, oh, that's fuck. And he was trying to wash it off at the party. It didn't come off. It was a disaster.
It's a hate crime.
Yeah.
Are there photos of that?
Yes, there is. Joe Jury's got the photos.
Joe Jury has a massive dossier on everyone at the ACC.
Yeah, totally.
Of all the different photos. Yeah, taken out of context, it could be very, very... He also made me dress up as a monkey one time for a photo shoot.
I've seen you dressed up as a Nazi.
Oh, yes. I've been made to dress... I was made to dress up like a Nazi. But that was another one of those ones where it's like, hey, can you come down and do this video shoot? Was that for the last Olympics, I think?
No, it was for Champagne Rugby when we talked about who made you, something Nazi.
Yeah.
And you just walked into the shot and we were like, no, not that kind of Nazi.
Yeah. And they were like, can you come down? Are we going to do a shoot? I was told it was something to do with Steve Irwin and the Stingray. Because someone was dressed as a Stingray. Joe was. Tom was dressed as Steve Irwin. And then they were like, yeah, here's your costume. And like, I already had a moustache, but then I had to put like a fake moustache on top of it. I think it got sent back to whoever was sponsoring Champagne Rugby at that time, and they were like, absolutely not. Do not post that. And so that's still out there. Yeah, I forgot this footage of me dressed as a Nazi there.
You know when there's those big hacks that go on and they slowly leak all the documents over time?
Yeah.
If someone ever hacks into Joe Jury's computer and just slowly leaks the photo, that's going to be the end of quite a number of people.
There's the photo of you in the dress from just last year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
From the head of... You'd swapped clothes with the head of legal from our company.
It wasn't a great photo.
Well, no.
It wasn't great. She looked way better in my clothes. I'll give you that.
Then, look, you looked okay in the sequin sparkling dress. It was just the fact that you were a maggot that really gave it away. There's a lot of sport actually happening this weekend. Let's take a break, regroup, compose ourselves, run through the Rolodex of hate crimes we've committed in the past, and then come back and talk about the actual sport that's happening this weekend. The All Blacks team has been named over the weekend, overnight, as it always does, is named immediately after we finish recording this podcast on a Thursday. So we haven't seen it. Not too many changes. I'm just going to...
Not a massive surprise. Obviously, the big talking point is Sam Cane back into the team, coming off the bench.
He hasn't played since something like February or March.
Yeah, give him 20 minutes, though. That's all he needs.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about it on Monday post the game. It was when they emptied the bench in that last 15 that the forward pack just looked a little bit lost. The line-out was in disarray.
Yeah.
It was just lost shape a little bit.
To be fair to Argentina, their line-out was sick. Like, they had obviously been like, we're going to line out the fuck out of these guys.
Yeah, but in the first half, our line-out was faultless in the first half. Darius Rucker, Sam Darry was on fire. It was looking great. And then it just fell to bits in the second half.
Yeah.
So...
That's some pretty good moves, the old Argies.
Yeah, they
but
do.
yeah, I saw a lot of stuff online saying, "Oh, this is the like redemption arc of Sam Cane." You know, but I don't feel that way. Like, do you think that people out there feel like he let us down in that Rugby World Cup final?
No.
I don't think so either.
No, not at all.
I think everyone was in agreement that because that whole year we'd been like, the rules are fucking stupid. It's going to affect a massive, impactful game. And that's exactly what happened. And I don't think anyone looked at that and went, geez, Sam Cane let us down. We're like, rugby needs to sort their rules out. It had nothing to do with him.
Yeah, and a prime example of that was in the weekend with Ethan Blackadder getting headbutted.
Oh, yeah.
And them discussing whether he should be sent off.
He got bumped off. He got sat on his
headbutted.
ass.
Sat on his ass. And they're like, look, I know you're embarrassed that you got sat in your ass, so just going to maybe just take that embarrassment and sit on the naughty seat.
Yeah. Now you don't get to play anymore.
Yeah, anyway.
It was ridiculous. So I don't think I've just seen a few stories saying, "Oh, Sam Cane's back. You know, his shot at redemption." I don't see it that way. I don't think really, to be honest, anyone does. I wonder if they were just looking for a bit of a headline there.
Yeah, and Ioane's back.
Yeah, Rico Ioane's back. What's that about?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Anton Leonard-Brown, is he starting? Anton Leonard-Brown, or is Ioane's on the bench?
No, Geordie Barrett, Rico Ioane.
Oh, he's starting, is he? I thought Dobro played pretty well against the Argentinians.
So did I.
Very solid. Maybe this is a chance for Rico. You know, maybe he's got a little shot up his ass that he needs. I don't know. Who knows what's going on in Razor's head? But TJ Petinata starting again.
Yes.
And the return of Caleb Kardashian.
Yep.
Jab of the butt back on Eden Park. I think that's a good call.
I think it is too. Him and Will Jordan. So, you know, they've swapped the wingers around entirely from where they were against England. I like it. I think it's good. I think Will Jordan has to be on the field.
Yeah.
You got to find a place for him. And then that does free your bench up to just carry a winger, which they have, is Mark Talia, because you've got 4 fullbacks on the starting field. You've got D-Mac, you've got Geordie Barrett, you've got Will Jordan, and you've got Bodie Barrett.
Yeah.
So you got 4 of them. Which Barrett? I think Geordie Barrett was in this morning. He was doing the car wash here at NZ.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, him and Dalton Papali'i.
Papali'i, don't preach.
Looking fighting fit. How do you think this game goes?
I think the All Blacks win. I think they bounce back. Remember the last time the Argentinians beat the All Blacks, they got absolutely spanked a week later.
Yeah.
But saying that, they look pretty tidy, the Argentinians. They kind of know how to counter the All Blacks and how to upset them.
Yeah.
And that is basically through the forwards, through the line-out, scrums, breakdown. They were pretty immense in that second half. But I know this sounds like a classic All Blacks, but I think the All Blacks this time will have enough impetus and motivation to beat them. And I was on Hauraki this morning, and my hunch with them was a same-game multi. Because you can do the same game multi, 3, miss a leg, you get your money back in bonus bets. Mm-hmm. So I've gone All Blacks to win, All Blacks between 1 to 12. And due to the fact there's going to be a little bit of rain, under 51.5 points total.
Yeah.
$5.
I don't mind that. The All Blacks are the shortest favourites. Like, they're about $1.17.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make a lot of sense to me after watching them just lose by 8 points.
Yeah, and Argentina are back to 5.
Yeah.
So,
which seems like a good bit of happiness insurance. I'm with you. I don't think they'll win. But I didn't think they'd win last week.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. I'm unsure because they played so well, the Argentinians, and they looked so composed.
Yeah.
Last week. And they broke our line so many times. They scored fucking 38 points against the All Blacks.
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
I know.
By South Africa or Australia or England, let alone Argentina.
No, and the whole time I was watching the game, I was sort of waiting for us to we're going to win it.
Yeah,
we'll win it. And then we didn't.
Yeah.
We're like, was that the final whistle? Fuck.
Yeah, and then when there was that, we talked about it Monday when they ran the clock down. It was classic rugby league behaviour. But
yeah.
So that's 7 o'clock on Saturday night. You're on the call with Matt Heath. Some people saying that since you haven't called a Warriors win, you may be the curse that lets the All Blacks
come
lose.
On, what are the rules now? Fuck it out. It's not. I thought it was me and Chris were the curse for the Warriors. Now it's me. Now it's not even the Warriors.
I'm just trying to deflect here.
What are the rules at that point?
I'll tell you the rules?
The biggest coup is that we've managed to pry Matt Heath away from a corporate box at Eden Park.
Well, he wasn't committed and apparently got a last-minute call-up to a corporate box, but he's committed to it. He's committed to the commentary, he's committed to the audience.
Yeah, well, God bless him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll bring it up a couple of times on the commentary. Yeah, it's myself and Heath tomorrow.
Back on Sky Sport 9, thank God.
Back on Sky Sport 9, our cultural, spiritual home.
Yeah.
But, God, we got a lot of backlash last time.
Sky Sports Select, sorry about that.
On the wrong channel. Just quickly on the game, the other changes were Tamaiti Williams comes in for Ethan de Groot, who got injured. I don't recall it, but apparently it did happen.
I don't know that either. Anyway.
And then that's about it. Blackadder, Papali'i, Artie Savia, it's powerful.
That is a powerful
trio.
back three.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think that the All Blacks are going to win. $1.17 is ridiculous. I don't think that's think that's a fair reflection. Also, it doesn't seem like it's a sellout.
No, it's not.
They're still
flogging tickets.
Flogging tickets at the moment. Yeah. I love when you see an ad that's saying, hey, tickets are selling fast. It's like, why are you telling me then?
Final release.
Yeah. I was like, okay, if they're selling so well, why do you need me to buy one?
Yeah, it's a concern, isn't it? It is a massive concern.
It's like when a real estate agent tells you you need to sign off right now, or if you go home, this might sell to someone else. This is what this dude was trying to do to me in this car park one day. I was like, then why do you care if I buy it? What does it matter to you who buys it?
Yeah. If you got another buyer,
yeah, sell it to him. Why are you waiting for me? I'll just go, you sell it to someone else. Why are you accosting me in this car park, you fucking vampire? Anyway.
Shout out to all the real estate agents.
Shout out to real estate agents worldwide. God, where would we be without you? But anyway, are they siphoning money out of an otherwise closed system? Yes. When I sell you this guitar right here, do I need to pay anyone else? No. Why is it that with houses? Anyway, I digress. Still tickets, but get in fast to the All Blacks game.
Final release.
Final release, mate. You don't want to miss out. So make sure that you get down there. The UFC's also on this weekend as well, Lane.
Yeah, is this an all Kiwi affair?
It is, basically, yeah. So it's UFC 305. It's over there in Perth. The Aussies are playing against South Africa the same night as well.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a hell of a weekend over there in Perth. And it's almost an all-Kiwi card. So we've got Kai Kara France is fighting, Dan Hooker's also fighting, and the main event of the evening will be Israel Adesanya fighting against Dricus Duplessis.
This is a battle of Africa.
Yes, battle for the true African champ. So, yeah, if you don't know, Dricus is the guy, he's a white South African gentleman, and he's calling himself the only true African champ in the UFC because he's the only one who actually lives there. You know, so that has really pissed Israel Adesanya off. Quick recap on how we got here. Izzy beat Alex Pereira in the rematch, knocked them out, did the bow and arrow thing. Yep. Then he fought Sean Strickland, who is the most cage fighting looking dude of all time. Strickland beat Izzy. Then Duplessis beat Strickland. Right. So Duplessis has the belt.
Yes,
that Izzy lost. So,
I see.
Yes, so if Israel Adesanya wins this weekend, which I think he will, he'll get the belt back, and Sean Strickland has apparently been promised the winner of this fight. So there's a lot of different sort of machinations going on.
So, and when is it? Saturday?
Sunday.
Yeah,
so they do the Father's Day. Wherever the cards are around the world, they line them up so that they're at the prime time for America.
Right, I see.
Which means that the main line, the headline is usually on at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon on a Sunday here for us. But bear in mind that Perth is 5 hours behind us. So that's about 11 o'clock in the morning in Perth.
Oh, my God.
So dudes are there from like 5, 6 in the morning. Preloading on the piss. Cut to about 9, 10 a.m. in Perth, and dudes are just punching on.
That's an all-nighter situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to the rugby the night before, going all night, just straight in, maybe a couple of pineapple lollies, and then straight into the UFC.
Yeah. So Israel Adesanya, I think it's fairly even odds on the two of them, as he'd be favoured by about 15 cents or something.
If Izzy drops this one, is there some concern about what he's going to get up to for the rest of this?
No, I don't think so, because he's still enough of a draw card and he's active enough. You know what I mean? It's not like Conor McGregor where we haven't seen him fight in like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So no, I think if Izzy loses this one, then it'll be Dricus versus Strickland.
Yeah.
And I still think we would want to see Izzy fight whoever lost that one, you know, for another chance at the title. I think he's still a massive, massive draw card in the UFC.
Right.
And it always prompts talk of like, when are we going to see another card in Auckland? Because we haven't had one in ages. Israel Adesanya basically told everyone to get fucked. He's never bringing a card back here again after they all got kicked out of their gym in lockdown. But I think it's starting to sound like it might be a bit closer. I think he's starting to feel the love from the New Zealand media a bit more.
Yeah.
But that is on Sunday. There's also a whole host of Australians fighting in that card as well. So that'll be good watching on a Sunday. Also, great watching UFC. I've said it before, I'll say it again. My favourite sport to watch when I'm hungover, because it's so good to see someone having a worse day than I am. And that's exactly what you get to see. You get to see a man getting his eyebrows split open in his undies in front of millions of people around the world. You're like, at least I'm not him.
When's the press conference? Because that's my favourite. The press conference for UFC is hands down my favourite, when they line them up in that terraces and then they just start abusing each other, even when they're not even fighting each other.
I feel like that might be today.
Oh, I fucking love that.
Yeah.
And they always give Adesanya shit about whacking off to anime porn and stuff. I'm like, this is wild. And this is broadcast live.
Yeah.
And he's talking about, man, you whack after anime. And he's like, fuck up, dude. It's just like fucking wild.
This is why it's taken so long for the mainstream media to pick up on UFC, because they can't wrap their head around it. Like, what the fuck? Like, if you've got a sports journalist in New Zealand, all they've ever reported on is rugby union.
Yeah.
Which is
missionary.
The antithesis. The players are very similar to UFC fighters, but they don't let them talk about that kind of stuff. Then these guys couldn't give a shit, because you got to think about the mind of a man who would fight another man in a cage in his undies for a job.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's going to be a bit nuts.
Yeah.
And so they say the wildest shit, and the UFC's done a great job of being like, look, fuck it, this is who they are.
Imagine that. I mean, we've talked about this at rugby players. If Caleb Clark came out and just said, Cadet is his opposite number, I am going to snap you in half like a twig. You come at me, I am going to murder you.
Yeah.
And him come back and go, you're slow. I've stepped grandmothers quicker than you useless piece of shit.
Piece of shit. And you weren't even playing last week.
And then the game, you'd be like, get it to Caleb Clark. Get it to Cadets. I want to see them go head to head.
I've been saying this for the longest time. I think a big problem in New Zealand, why it won't happen with Super Rugby, is because those guys all have to play together for the All Blacks.
I know, but it's all... Surely you're old enough.
But international.
Yeah, international, fine. But surely you're old enough. I mean, it's drumming up business, you know.
Yeah.
You know, when you can abuse someone in the office, which I've done recently, and you move on.
And you carry on. Yeah, no. I agree with you, because I feel like Bowden Barrett got away with moving from the Hurricanes to the Blues scot-free.
Yeah.
No one said anything about it.
Yeah, there should have been loads of smack talk.
Yeah,
it's like,
fucking trade it.
Can't wait till you run it straight.
Yeah.
Asafa Amua, he's going to fold you.
Are you enjoying Auckland? Did you get a bunch of Instagram followers for it? Is that what you did?
Yeah, how's the gram going?
Do you see Matt Heath in the corporate box? You know?
Are you hanging out with Heath now?
I think the trash. I've said before they should have the press conferences for Super Rugby games and have the captains and coaches sitting up on the dais. Figure it all out. Huge rumours coming out of the golf world. Apparently, Liv is going to be coming to New Zealand. The headlines came out this morning, overnight. Rumours have been circulating that they're going to bring it to Christchurch possibly as early as next year. The Herald understands, is reporting, allegedly.
I don't know. What the fuck is it?
That they're looking at the possibility of bringing a high-profile tournament to Christchurch Golf Club, New Zealand's second oldest club. When they talked to the guy, Mike Hadley, who's the general manager there, he said that Liv officials did visit the course, but they haven't heard from them yet.
And shock horror, New Zealand's oldest golfer is not happy.
Does Jason Hoyt play golf?
Bob Charles has come out and said, I don't want any part of it. I was like, buddy, mass respect. You're an amazing golfer. One of the world's best left-handers.
Yeah.
I don't think you're the poster boy for live golf. So I think you're going to be
okay.
Fine. I think you're going to be okay. I don't think they're going to...
You don't have to be part of it.
I don't think you're going to be on the poster.
Yeah.
Because the demographic that they're aiming for aren't going to go, fuck, Bob's going to be their fucking neck and piss on the fucking party hole.
Yeah.
So, but it's strange they got him to comment on it. It's like when they used to get Colin Meads or Walter Hadley to comment on the modern game of cricket or rugby. And Colin Meads always say they don't even eat enough red meat. Walter Hadley would say they're not doing, they're not in the nets long enough, or they're not like they just get some cliched. It's the same with Bob. Bob's like, I don't want to be involved. So the headline is Bob Charles.
Oh, they knew.
Doesn't want anything to do with Liv. Shit.
That's why they picked him.
Shit.
Before they even asked him, they had the article written. They're like, let's ask Bob Charles what he reckons. He's going to tell us to fuck off, and then we'll make that the headline.
He said they've been far too disruptive for the game.
Yeah.
No shit.
I tell you what. When I worked in the mainstream media, the whole Fozzie Razor thing was going on. I'd just call Laurie Mains every other day. She'd be like, what do you make of all of this, Laurie? And he's like, it's fucking bullshit. Wouldn't it happen back in my day? Blah, 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 blah. You're like, This is out of the park.
Anyway, great idea.
Yes.
Any government funding we've got that we're not spent on the America's Cup,
Yep.
throw it to Christchurch and get Liv there. I'm there in a heartbeat. And you watch,
Yep.
I reckon they would get 20,000 people there
Yep.
at a Liv event in Christchurch. Great place to do it. Auckland's a bit apathetic on that shit.
Yep.
Christchurch should be perfect.
And while everyone's looking at the golf course, Russell Kurtz can go out there and just clear Akaroa Harbour out of all of the Hector's Dolphins.
Dynamite Akaroa Harbour.
Yeah.
Bring the Sail GP back to Christchurch.
Yeah. I don't know if Liv's ready for the Canterbury level of maggot.
I don't know. Adelaide.
Yeah.
Adelaide got voted the best live event in the world. And Aussies, and we're talking country Aussies here too, Adelaide. It's not Sydney.
I think they do call that the Christchurch of Australia.
Yeah, it
Adelaide.
is. It's flat. Flat as anything. A little bit religious sometimes. A lot of cathedrals and churches around.
Yeah.
I agree with you. There is a level there that, having experienced a number of black clashes,
Yeah.
and it's the guys who wear the sunglasses when the sun goes down, they put them across their forehead, that kind of vibe.
Yeah, the concrete cowboys in their R.M. Williams boots and belts.
Yes.
Cashed
up.
Oh, yeah. There's old money down there.
Yeah.
A lot of old money down there. A lot of insurance swindlers down there as well with some new money. But yeah, I think Liv, and fuck, if it happens, we have to get down there.
Whoever's in charge of Liv, let's just start pounding them with emails and DMs saying we're happy to be involved, happy to be involved, happy to be involved, happy to be involved, happy to be involved.
We'll do
anything.
Literally anything. We have we don't have any moral objections to what you do. We think it's fucking great.
We'll take Bob Charles out of the play.
I'll shoot a Houthi rebel. I'm all in on the Saudi back Liv tour. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with yours, please.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
Shout out to the Houthi community that I know listen to this podcast quite religiously. We've got 5, I believe, to get through today. First caller here, yours, please.
Frosty boy, his tasty treats will bring you joy. Your taste buds will start to tingle when you hear his happy jingle. Often licked, never beaten. Unfortunately, I can't say the same thing. Fuck West Hamilton.
There you go. See, there's another Frosty Boy fan out there. Often licked, never beaten. I forgot that was his headline.
That rings a bell.
Yeah, because I think
never beaten.
Because you say when you hear his jingle, So I think there was a rival. I think Frosty Boy, if I'm thinking correctly, was a rival to Mr. Whippy.
It's Mr. Whippy, wow.
Yeah, because he had his own little tune too. Often licked, never beaten.
Yeah,
and that was the jingle. Yeah.
No, yeah, that does ring a bell. That really sparked something in my mind there. Frosty Boy was more your dairy based.
Yeah, but I think they had a soft serve as well.
Oh, he'd hit the road?
Yeah, I think he hits the road too.
Frosty Boy hit the road? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let us know. It's somewhere in the memory bank. I might have to do some research.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, another caller here. Yours, please.
G'day, lads.
Hi.
Fuck Karaka.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sweet. Thank you. Another caller here. Yours, please.
Hey, fellas.
G'day, mate.
You can call yourselves sports-adjacent journalists.
Yeah.
No,
you forgot about one of the best stories towards the end of the Olympics. The Serbian basketball team being pissed as pig shit at the medal ceremony. They finished their game, straight to the Serbian pub, and they sunk piss for the next 10 hours. Jokic should barely stand on the podium. That was great. Cheers.
Good observation. I didn't see the medal ceremony, so I can't really comment on that.
I saw a bit of it, but I have seen Jokic has basically been on the piss ever since. He was, about 24 hours later, he was over at back in Serbia at a horse race. One of his horses was racing.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting down having a beer. He looks ridiculous when he's out in the wild because he is 7 feet tall and sloppy. And he was just sitting there, and they obviously had I don't know if it was the owner's box or whatever. Some old auntie was just standing there with her phone out. Of course, she had the flip case with all of her cards in one side. Anyway, she just had the phone filming him in the side of his fucking head. Then he sat down, turned his head away, so then she took another step to the side to keep filming. I was like, give him a fucking break. He's been on the sauce for 48 hours. He said to bloody play LeBron James.
Just give him a break.
Not long ago. Yeah. What more could he do? I also saw him in Javo Javo, not Jamo.
Not Jamo.
Jamo, great New Zealander.
Yeah.
Javo, the guy who sneaks into all of the sporting
Yes.
fixtures. He was in the, of course he was, Olympic closing ceremony.
Fuck off.
He dressed-
Did he get onto the field?
Not only did he get on the field, he was dressed as an England, like a member of the Great Britain team. He walked up onto the stage while people were performing, and they were yelling at him to get off the stage.
So did he get up there when Phoenix were playing that French
Yes,
band?
yeah, I think so.
I respect that. I respect that because it wasn't interrupting play of a game or a
Yeah.
live game. It was just being part of a party and taking the piss there.
Yeah.
Because some of his antics started to get a bit tedious for a while there. But like being involved in a team photo, funny.
That's funny, yeah.
That's funny. Interrupting a game,
Yeah.
live game, not so much. Going into a closing ceremony and getting on stage and partying with athletes, that's funny.
Game awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah, great
Good
game awareness. One last caller here for a Friday. Yours, please.
Hey guys, just finished watching Eastbound and Down for the 20th time. What would be New Zealand's Kenny Powers? Who would be New Zealand's Kenny Powers? Like, who has gone from hero to zero and then thinks they can come back again? All right, hooroo, fuck South Canterbury.
That's a great question. I love Kenny Powers.
Has he got like a pet magpie in the background?
Yeah, it
What's
sounded
going on
like
there?
a parakeet or something. That's a good question, and something you might have to revisit actually.
Yeah.
Because I need to go into the memory bank to think about that.
Yes, I agree with you. Maybe it's something we address on Monday, but I wanted to play that out in case it triggered anyone sitting at home.
Yeah.
For me, would Jesse Ryder fit the bill?
Yeah, I guess. And
He
then
didn't-
tried to make a comeback and didn't quite work, I guess.
He had this sort of over-the-top personality.
Yeah.
He kind of looked a little bit like Kenny
Yeah.
Powers, and he had the same sort of game. Like he's had a big motor, hit dingers,
Yeah.
and then lost it all, and then never tried to get it back. I don't feel.
Yeah,
like.
right. He had a big personality as well.
Yeah.
Off field.
Yeah, different than Kenny Powers. You're
Yeah.
never gonna have a Kiwi that's like him.
No, and I don't think Jesse Ryder owned a jet ski called the panty dropper?
Yeah. No, I don't know. Well, hopefully that's triggered someone at home. You can send that in. We'll knock this one on the head for today. We're going out to do your weightlifting thing this afternoon?
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? It's the worst possible timing because I'm off on holiday next week for a week
Was it?
to go skiing, and I'm potentially going to go in a back brace.
Yeah, I think it's your elbow that's going to go.
You reckon?
Did you know you've got ACLs in your elbows?
Fuck off.
And you're about to blow both of them. All right,
Got the
let's
sports book coming up?
Oh, yes, we've got the sports book coming up, so we're going to have to knock this thing on the head and get into that. That'll be on the same feed. Otherwise, Waz tonight, 8 p.m, Di and Chris, Sky Sport 9 tomorrow, myself and Heath commentating the All Blacks, and we will see you on Monday for another episode of the Agenda Podcast.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda Podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.